Homework. What do you got for me here? Dewey, let's roll. 16, everyone. Take a look at 16. All right. First time we've encountered this. It's not a square base. It's not a hexagon as a base. It's a triangular pyramid, which means the base is a triangle. Not only a triangle, but a right triangle. Where it tells you a leg of 8 and a hypotenuse of 10. All good. And it's got a volume of 144. Find the height. All right, so you go back to your reference sheet. Pyramid, 1/3 big B times H. All right, we're solving for H. Volume was $1.44. I plug that in. We can find big B. Let's go over here now. There's the base. It'll be 1/2 base times height. I already know 8. How can I find the other leg, which will be my base or my height again? Pythag. So I do Pythagorean theorem. This ends up being 6. So I end up with a big B, or a base area of 24. So that'll get plugged in for big B. And now I'm solving for the height. What from here? It's up to you. Multiply by 3. I see 1/3 of 24, and that's 8. So I can condense this down to 8H, divide both sides by 8, and we should get 18. Okay. You all right, Dewey? We good? Okay, everyone all right here? I know, it was a triangular pyramid. I think, wasn't that the first one I gave you too? All right, the base can be anything, any shape. The base could be any shape. All right, just not square and hexagons that we've been working with. Next! Jasmine. Hi. 29. Oh, a little heating. Yeah. Here we go. Look at Sam's house. An art studio. Excuse me, not a house. An art studio. Anyway, in their backyard to buy heating, BTUs. That's British thermal units, if anybody was wondering. It's going to take 2 BTUs per cubic foot to heat this house. All right. What's the top part of her house made of? That's a pyramid, isn't it? Square pyramid? Because the base will be a square. And then what about the bottom here? This is a rectangular prism. How do I know I'm doing volume, by the way? I know this is a volume unit, but still, how do I know I'm doing volume versus a surface area? 2 BTUs per cubic foot. And just to let you a little on an inside info here the next 2 days, why it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be per cubic foot, but maybe these are in inches. They won't match. So we're going to have to do a lot of converting over the next 2 days. So just a heads up. But don't have to worry about it today. Pyramid, 1/3, big BH. All right, first one up today. Let's roll, 24. I should have known that a lot quicker. 30. Oh, yeah. Big B for the pyramid. How do I calculate it? Thank you. 25 times 25. How about the height of this pyramid? Oh, 4. How about the height of this pyramid? Thanks. So everyone all right so far? Rectangular prism. That's just big B times H. What do you got for me? 4 again. Let's go. Big B. How do I calculate it? How about the height of that rectangular prism? 28. Also 8. Great job. Okay. Everyone good so far? Not too sure. I want to say it's 6,000 something here. Yes. Yep. So the total volume. Jasmine, we good so far? 6,666.66667, I think, at the end there. Cubic feet. All right, now how do I figure out how many BTUs? Do I divide by 2? Do I multiply by 2? We've had this darn discussion all unit long. Stop having it. All right, if you are having that discussion with yourself in your mind, make a proportion. All right, make a proportion that says the following. All right, I know 1 cubic foot, I'm going to need 2 BTUs. Where should I put my 6,666? Across from the cubic feet. All right, good enough. Put that there. How many BTUs? Now, what do I end up doing? Multiplying or dividing by 2? Multiplying, there you go. Answers, your question solved. And that's where the 13,333 comes from. How's that look, Jasmine? We sure? That is where we're going tomorrow and Thursday. But again, these type of problems, but again, they may not match. All right, they may not match, so we got to do a little converting in between. Next. Nothing else? Yeah. What was the issue with 26 back there? 26? We had 26? Oh, boy. Oh, got it. Never mind. You ready? 2 cones put up against each other. All right, I'll go left cone. 1/3 pi r squared times the height. 1/3 pi 5 squared. How about the height of that cone? 7? You sure? Okay. You got to love volume because you do not have to worry about what's covered up. I ask you surface area. Okay, I can't count the 2 bases now. All right, but volume, you count anything that's there. Anything else? All right, quick check. New figure, totally new figure, sphere. All right, a sphere. And since we haven't touched this, we have to go over the surface area of a sphere. All right, there is no lateral area of a sphere because there's really no base. There's no bases to it, so we just find the surface area of a sphere. That is not on your formula sheet. You have no surface area formulas on there. It's only volume. All right, but the surface area is pretty easy to remember. It's 4 circles. What's area of a circle? And then 4 of them, 4 pi r squared. Which is nice because what's the only value you need? Radius, that's it. If I know the radius of the sphere, I'm good to go. So speaking of just knowing the radius, take a look at the first one there. I'm telling you the circumference of a rubber ball is 20 pi. What's the surface area? Again, only thing we need to find is what the heck is the radius length. Anybody remember, what was it? I think it was last unit we covered circumference. If not, the unit before was circles, circumference formula. Pi d or 2 pi r, whatever you use. I'll be a pi d person here. So if the circumference is 20 pi, anybody get me to the point where you can find the diameter length? How do I get d by itself? There's really a bunch of options to do it. Your call here. 7, go ahead. Divide both sides by pi, we get d equal to 20. So what am I going to plug in for r? Oh, anybody. R is going to be equal to 10, so I go back to my surface area. 4 pi, 10 squared, and just make it easy on all of us today, let's just leave everything in terms of pi. Okay, leave everything in terms of pi. Ooh, who am I going to get on this one? I'm going to get somebody. 5, let's hear what you have to say here. Oh, yep. Centimeters squared, because I'm going back to area. Okay, it's all right. Everyone else was going to do it. Surface area, volume. Go ahead, take a look for yourself. Take a look for yourself, the volume. And good thing we're given this one. This one, 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, what's the only value I need for volume? Still need the radius. These are my favorites. I'll give you the volume, you find the surface area. Again, surface area formula, 4 pi r squared. I need the r value, need the radius length. So let's go to the volume formula, 4/3 pi r cubed. Plug in that 36 pi for your volume. Something may be new here at the end of this. I don't know if you do this in algebra or not. Well, there are pi's on both sides, so let's just get rid of them now. So we'll be left with 36 equals 4/3 r cubed. What would you like to do next? Remember, I'm trying to get 20. Nope, don't do it. 5, trying to get r by itself. Redeem yourself, Ella.
Multiply by 3/4.
Yep, there you go. I can multiply both sides by 3/4. So we get 27 equal to r cubed. All right, I don't know if you did this last year or not, or maybe any time in your mathematical career. You would take the square root if it was r squared, but now I'm going to take the cube root of both sides. Now the question is, where is that located on your calculator? Everyone ready? No matter what calculator you have, under your math button on the left-hand side, if you press your math button, you will see r cube, not r cube, but the cube root as one of the options. So left-hand side of your calculator, hit your math button, you'll see it there. Some of you guys want to get there another way. You can hit, some of you guys can hit alpha window, and it should pop up. Okay. And what is the cube root of 27? 3. So I go back over to my surface area, plug in 3. Now we're looking at 36 pi inches squared. Guys, all good there? All right. Anything here? Going back and forth between volume and surface area. Volleyballs. They are not fully inflated, FYI, when they are purchased. Volume of the partially inflated is 180, and the fully inflated would be 294. What's the difference in their radii? I'll meet you back here in 3 minutes. Go ahead, discuss it within yourselves or your group. All right, partial. We had 180 equal to the volume formula, 4/3 pi r cubed. Hopefully you took the cube root at the end after you got the 4/3 and the pi out of there. And this is what I have for the partial one, 3.502632975. Not rounded. I am not done with the problem once I find this radius. And then for the fully inflated one, not too much more, 4.124958406. Any issues getting there? We're okay. And then you subtract the 2, and the difference ends up being the radii difference to the nearest tenth, 0.6 inches. Okay. Anything there? That was an old Regents question, by the way. Part 3, I think. So anything before we get to this last one? All right, we do have to talk quickly about the good old hemisphere. Oh, what do you mean we got to talk about it? Just divide everything by 2. Nope. Good try. All right. Volume, you're correct. Because remember, I'm just filling it up. So the volume, you got your 4/3 pi r cubed, and yes, you can divide it by 2. You can multiply this by a half. Absolutely, because you're filling it up. So I am going to take half the volume formula. So as we plug in here, again, the only thing I need is the radius. In this problem, the radius would be 13. 14, calm yourself. 14 cubed. And then just make sure you cut it in half, multiply by a half, so we can find that. And then we got to talk why surface area is just not divided by 2. Just going to check with somebody once they find the volume. $20, ready to roll? Nearest tenth. You all right back there? Okay, great. Why don't I cut surface area in half? Why don't I just say surface area 4 pi r squared, cut that sucker in half, we're ready to go. Hi. Surface area is everything you can glide your hand around on the outside, correct? Flip up that hemisphere. What do you still have on the bottom? So right here, 4 pi r squared divided by 2, that's the dome. I call it the dome here. That covers the surface area of the dome, but then you flip it up and you're like, oh boy, I still have a circle, which I'll use what? Pi r squared. And I know we are in honors, so if you did want to get fancy here, and this maybe wasn't good enough for you, you can simplify this a little more. 4 divided by 2. You get 2 pi r squared plus another pi r squared. You could just use 3 pi r squared if you felt the need to. So 3 pi radius of 14 squared. Please be aware of that hemisphere surface area. When you're ready with that, round it to the nearest tenth. 25. I'll wait. One job. 5 on fire today, Ella. Let's go. Let's go. Watch your mouth.
1,847.3 feet squared.
Yes, learn from your mistake. It makes me happy today. Good. All right, this is another rare opportunity. I'm just going to let you guys get started on your assignment, okay, instead of doing well, guys, we have 8. I figured it out yesterday. We were going to have 8 days of Regents review in class. More than, yeah. So I think we can hold off with doing problems every once in a while. So go ahead, start the assignment.